Well, Dave, you were clearly angry on Tuesday night, maybe not at the collective performance, but certainly at the manner of goals that were given away on the day. What's been the reaction and the fallout from that in the days since?
Listen, football moves on very, very quickly, but what we have to do is learn from it. That's something that we've not done as well effectively as we'd all have hoped. The biggest disappointment is that large parts of the game are good, and we're shooting ourselves in the foot, and that's been a constant really since the start of the season, and that has to improve in order to give ourselves a better chance in terms of points return, in terms of winning games. We've been in every game. There's been a goal difference in every game we've played, apart from the one draw we've had. But the margins we're finding out are really fine. We need to start coming out on the right side of them margins quickly.
Speaking as a defender yourself, obviously played at a high level, as Clint Hill, of course. What's the answer when you're maybe having a bit of a difficult spell, a difficult run like this? How do you get through it?
You stick together, you work hard, you get round each other. I think what the hard thing from I suppose a coaching perspective is you look at the goals and there's not a specific trend around what we're conceding, what mistakes might be. They're individual errors, and individual errors that happen in football matches, and that's part and parcel. And more often than not, the team that makes the least errors normally can be the one that maybe wins the game. So in terms of unit defending, in terms of team defending, there's been lots of good stuff. There's been individual mistakes that ultimately have cost us, and we have to get away from them.
In terms of the start to the season in general, there was obviously a lot of optimism going into the start of the season. Has the step up in quality surprised you at all this season? Has it surprised the players, or is that just part of the natural adjustment?
It's certainly not surprised me. Like I say, I was involved in this division for a short part last season. I think there has been an expectation to jump from our perspective from the top of the National League, if you like, and we hope to jump to the top of League Two. I think what it has shown, if anyone was unsure or uncertain of what the jump was, is that there are certainly no gimmies, there are no free hits. Everyone's very organised, physically close in terms of what teams were out there, with everyone being full time, and there are standout players. There's not much in the division. There are different styles that maybe you don't see as much of in the National League in terms of how teams do it. If it was a surprise to the players, and listen, some haven't played in the division before, that's fine. There's no issue with that. The importance, as I've said previously, is around learning, and that learning needs to take place quickly, because in order for them to move on in their careers and have a good career at this level of the game and potentially higher, being able to cope in an environment where there is an expectancy, then you do almost sink or swim. But they've got to have real belief. I've got real belief in the group we've got in terms of the players. I've got real belief in the management team and the management group that we've got, and everybody inside the building, that we can absolutely be a success. We've not started the season as we'd have hoped in terms of results, but there's been, like I say, there's been real positives in a real large proportion of the games. We just haven't got the results that back that up.
Just going back to Tuesday night for a minute, it was obviously a new look formation as well. It was essentially quite an aggressive 4-2-2-2. What was the thinking behind that, and were the positives you took from it on the night?
There was loads of positives, as I said, in terms of how the game panned out. I think, listen, the fundamental change was going from a back three or a back five to a back four. Something that we looked at, and we knew that even within that shape, if we needed to change, we could change pretty quickly, whether that be shifting round to the right as it was and putting Chris as a left side centre back and either filtering Ollie in down that side, or whether we shift the other way and put Akil in as a centre back and push Hussey and James Brown on as wing back. So we could change. We tried to have some fluency within that shape. I thought the shape worked really well for us. So without going into too much detail, yes, we were that shape, but there was fluidity in terms of rotations with Sars, Will and with Ollie in order to get support for what's at the top end of the pitch. So happy with that. I thought some of our phases and some of our patterns within the game deserved more than what we got. Scored certainly in the first half one brilliant goal, had several opportunities. Again, if we're being critical, we need to make more of them. That last little bit, that last ball, let us down. But plenty of positives. It's something, like I say, over the course of the season, you need to be adaptable and play in different ways. We've, I suppose, recruited a squad that will allow us to play with a back four and also with a back three or a five. So we decided to go that way, and I was comfortable. I am comfortable with how the formation worked.
A couple of individual players I wanted to ask you about. Chris Hussey's been in the building a couple of weeks now. How do you feel he's settled in? He's certainly brought quality from set pieces.
Yeah, absolutely, and has brought a calming influence, if you like, in terms of his experience, in terms of his know-how, in a largely inexperienced squad, if you like. So settled in really well. Easy group to fit in with because of the, like I say, really good bunch of people and good bunch of players. But on the pitch, it's just brought that calmness, brought that experience, whilst also providing quality, as you say. And his goal on Tuesday was worthy of winning any game. Unfortunately, wasn't to be.
You spoke to John Kieran a few weeks ago about Anthony Sarcevic and your expectations for him in terms of the numbers that he's producing. It's 3 goals and 2 assists in 8 league games so far. He seems to be relishing his role in the team at the minute.
Yeah, Sarce is one of our better players, if not our best player. And his record in terms of level he's played at and promotions and all those things speak volumes of that. We all know what he can add. It's a little bit different in terms of there's a little bit more responsibility on him at the moment with Paddy being out. He has added them goals. He's unlucky not to score the other night, but he has real quality. And when he's back in, I suppose, his reputation up with the numbers that he has so far, then we're in a better place for it. It's our responsibility from defensive or attacking objective to get him on the ball as often as possible in attacking areas, because he will create an assist with the quality that he has. And for someone like him to not be setting yourself a target of, I shouldn't see why he wouldn't or couldn't get 15 goals this season, would be, in my eyes, himself doing him a disservice. So long may that continue. What we need to make sure with us scoring and creating opportunities at one end is that the goals become more significant, with the fact that the goals that win us games and win us more points.
Just in terms of team news for Saturday, obviously Macca's still out at the minute. How is everyone else doing?
Yeah, everyone fine. So everyone's been, not everyone out on the grass today, because there are some that have done quite a bit over the last week or so in terms of match loads and things like that. So there are a few that we've taken off the feet, if you like, but certainly in terms of availability and squad for the weekend, aside from Macca and Paddy, obviously, who still serves his last game of suspension, everybody's fit and available, and we're in a good position in terms of that part of it.
And just finally on Harrogate, an identical record to County in the league so far. It was only a month ago, of course, that you've beaten them in the Carabao Cup. So do you feel you have a pretty good idea of what to expect for them?
Yeah, we do, because I know Weaves and I know Thurles and I know how they set their teams up, and they'll be coming to us looking to win. They've made changes, if you like, on deadline day. I think they brought 5 in, which has slightly changed them in terms of their shape, and in terms of the personnel. But we expect a tough game. I know a lot of their players very well, and we know that we've got to be bang on it. The big thing for us, like I say, is focusing on us, and cutting out those individual mistakes, making sure that decision-making process is much better. It's a tough game, but we're at home. We'll have a big crowd behind us that will want us to do everything we can to get 3 points, and we're doing our best to make sure that's the case.
Dave, thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, thank you.